Shalom. Let's start out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Harakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone. Salutations to the whole fillet that's pushing this truth across four corners of the earth, all fair truth and sincerity. This I'm one about getting us sitting. That's what I'm going to about. That's what I'm going to the sitting. Just about how the Lord Yahweh Yahushua, is gonna destroy, these wicked Edomites, the so-called white people, the red devil Edomites. How he's gonna destroy this place, America, Babylon the Great. This place, America, Babylon the Great. It's just full of wickedness and just a lot of just not good things, nothing good. Especially not good for the so-called Negro Latino natives, which are Israelites. The Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, he's gonna return, and bring his wrath and destruction upon this place, America, Babylon the Great. In the near future. So I'm getting into it. On this Zephaniah 3:1, woe to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. So woe means destruction. So woe to her, destruction to her. That's talking about America, Babylon the Great, right? That is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. Like I say, this place, America, Babylon the Great, is filthy, polluted. This place is, like I said, these Edomite devils, so-called white people, red devils. They got the air. They messing up they polluting the air, the water, the food. And so forth, man. It just this place is, is not. How these so-called white people, East Edomite devils, it's in power. They running this place, America, Babylon Great. This world. Not in a righteous way. And they are pushing out all this things that is not good for the people in America, Babylon the Great. Like I say, with the air and the water and food, making people sick, and like I say, and oppressing the so-called Negro Latino natives, which are Israelites, with these unrighteous decrees and laws, and so forth, paying these these bills and all this and that, just stressing out Jake, so like I said, destruction to this place, America, Babylon Great. And like I said, the apostles and the elders and the brother Great Millstone, week in, week out, prophesy downfall of this wicked place, America, Babylon the Great, because it's it's nothing good, about it, and you have Jake, 2/3 Israel, Negro Latino natives that still, want to party and bullshit, have fun in this place that is not good for you. It's nothing good here. Everything here in America, Babylon the Great is, it leads to nothing but death. A lot of pain and a lot of death. Because of these so-called white people, Edomite devils that's in power. They push out all this, wickedness and, what I'm saying, like I said, and all the, these chemicals. They pushed out, in the food and the air and the water, polluting the water, like I said, polluting the water, air, and food, and so forth. That's why this place, America, Babylon the Great, gonna be destroyed when the Lord Yahushua returns in the chariot, so-called UFO. But I'm gonna go from there to get something real quick. Let's see. So I'm going to Michael 2:10. So it's Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. And so that's why I say the apostles and the elders and Brother Great Millstone, and the Lord had the truth and the spirit power, Lord Yahweh Shai. I'm telling you, so-called Negro, Latino natives, hey, arise and part, for this is not your rest. This ain't our rest, man. Because it's polluted. Like I said, the food, the water, air, and so forth. It's polluted, man. It's defiled. Saying the food that we eat. We gotta pray over the food. This food that we eat. We don't know what we really eat. What they doing. What they really giving us with the meat and so forth. Unless, like I say, you got somebody that that got a farm or something that you trust to get the meat from. It's raised, the cows and stuff are raised up properly, and so forth like that. But for the most part, man, you eating at these restaurants and so forth, you don't know what you really eat. That's why you gotta pray over your food. But like I say, this place is defiled, man. Every to the things that we put on our body with these these lotions and so forth and and so forth, right, that we use, hygiene products and stuff like that. It has it'll have pork in it, right? It'll have pork in it. Stuff like stuff that we don't probably having on put on our skin, and probably eating pork either. I'm talking about you Israelites, so-called Negro, Latino natives, but but like I said, this place, it's polluted, man, because you eating my doubles, man. They wicked, man. They don't follow the ways of the Lord Yahweh outside the Bible. They'll just they'll spew lies and deception to you in these churches, or on television or whatever, saying it's okay to do this and do that, because Jesus, he died on the cross for you. So that you ain't got to worry about, all you gotta do is call upon the name and you'll be saved. You could eat pork and do all this other shit, do all this wickedness, and as long as you call on Jesus, you're gonna be okay. No, that's not how it works. Yahweh Shai, which is the real name of the Lord, who y'all call Jesus. The Most High name is Yahweh, who y'all call God, and the Son name is Yahweh Shai, who y'all call Jesus. But you gotta really repent of the ways of your ways, and pray to the Lord Yahweh Shai for mercy, and deliverance, and to not, you repent, do those things that Lord Yahweh Bashan Shai hates, according to the word, the Bible, or you put off the worldly things, the things that the Edomite devils. They push out, like I said, the lies and deception and so forth. The things that that you was doing in the world, you thought it was okay, but it's not. But like I said, but like I say, this place, America, Babylon Great, it's gonna destroy, 2/3 Israelites, because they don't want to, they don't want to, they don't want to take heed to the apostles and the elders of Brother Great Millstone. But it's set up, it's set up for 2/3 Israelites to. To not receive the truth, to not repent, to not come into the truth, to have mercy by Lord Yahweh Bashan Shai. It's only for the elect, that sincerely, and like I say, from the beginning, like I said, Lord Yahweh Shai, from the beginning, he knew who the elect were, who the elect are from the beginning, right? He knows the spirit, he knows those spirits of the elect. Who are the elect in these times? Like I said, the elect of the so-called Negro, Latino natives, Israelites, is gonna, it's gonna continue to do the work, gonna continue to, do what they gotta do, and they're not gonna break and fold or, give into, the things of this world. And they're not gonna, fall out of the truth. They're not gonna stop teaching. They're not gonna stop giving praise to Lord Yahweh Shai. They're gonna fear the Lord Yahweh Bashan Shai. The elect is gonna continue to believe in Lord Yahweh Bashan Shai and teach this word, and believe up to his returning, and keep the faith, even if you got to die in the faith of Lord Yahweh Shah, but the elect is gonna be it's gonna continue to do what they got to do, and in the end that and be delivered. Hopefully on part righteous, to escape the rapid judgment of Lord Yahweh Shah, but it's all about the elect of the Israelites, So I'm gonna go from there to because I didn't want to make this too long. Okay, so I'm going to Isaiah 24 and 5. It's Isaiah 24 and 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they had transgressed the laws and changed the ordinance. Excuse me. Let me read it again. Isaiah 24 and 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws and changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. So though these, the Edomite doves, that's in rulership. The earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because these wicked devils, like I said, they messing up. They messing with the water, they polluting the water, air, and so forth, right? Food. They transgress the laws of Lord Yahweh Shah. They change the ordinance, the order. Everything that's out of order, right? You got men and men. You got men and men sleeping with each other. Women sleeping with each other. You got this mold. They pushing this mold agenda. If you know what I'm talking about. I can't say the whole thing, but this mold agenda. They pushing that. And just wickedness, right? That's not other way to the Lord Yahweh Shah, and broken the everlasting covenant. Because I say, these Edomite doves, they don't keep nothing. They don't hold, to their word, They nothing but backstabbers, man, like I said, and like the Edomite doves, man, they just, I say Edomites, man, these elite bankers and so forth, man, they just, they just all out wicked, they the wicked, and they have no righteous bone, no righteous spirit in them, all they know is, destruction and chaos and, and just push out, lies and deception, man. Nothing righteous by the Edomite devils. That's why I said, that's why Lord Yahshua gonna return and remove them out of their power seat, out of their rulership, But go from that to Revelation Revelation 11. So Revelation 11 and 18. Revelation 11 and 18. Revelation, goes into reveal. So, and it reads, the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and should have destroyed them which destroyed the earth. So, and I say, Lord Yahweh Shah, and I say, it's gonna destroy the Edomite devils, for destroying this earth, man. He's gonna destroy the Edomite devils, messing up this earth and so forth, and Lord Yahweh Shah, he's gonna deliver the, men of the Lord, the prophets, the apostles, elders, brother, great millstone, the elect men, that fear thy name, that name, right? Yahweh Shah, Lord Yahweh Shah, and I say it's only gonna be, those, of the elect that's gonna be delivered, and get that reward, get that, get crowned by Lord Shah, and get that everlasting life, and not have to, face that second death. Which that second death gonna be by way of the thermonuclear missiles, right? That's gonna come raining down upon America, Babylon Great, And like I said, Loyal Shah gonna return the chariot, so called UFO with the laser beams, and zapping those, destroying those that ain't right. And then the thermonuclear missiles raining down on America, Babylon Great, So so I didn't want to make this too long. Let me see. Matter of fact, yeah, I got one. Matter of fact, got a couple more. Not done yet. Revelation 18. So I'm going to Revelation 18:20. Rejoice over her, thy heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High Yahweh Shai have avenged you on her. So this gonna come. Loyal Shah gonna return. Like saying, chariot, so-called UFO. He's gonna avenge. The apostles, the Ezra, brother, great millstone, men, Lord, that pushes truth. He's gonna avenge. His servants, his prophets, that stood firm in the faith. That believed. Up to his coming. He's gonna avenge. He gonna, I said, Lord Yahweh is, he keep his word. And I said those that stayed, the elect that stayed firm, that kept the faith, that didn't look back, that kept pushing, that kept pushing his word no matter what. Yahweh he got you. He's gonna deliver you. He's gonna deliver the elect men. And like I say, in the 1/3, like I say, the women in church are that number. So hopefully I'm probably right number, but that's what that's how I know Loyal Shah is gonna come for the elect. He's gonna avenge the elect of the Israelites. So I'll go from there. Revelation 18:21. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a mighty great millstone. I'll read that again. It's like it. Revelation 18:21. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall the great city of Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. So yeah, so Loyal Shah gonna return. I said in chariots, so-called UFO gonna zap with the laser beams from the fire from the chariots. And then I say, with great violence, like I say, the Edomite doubles, they got their rulership and power by way of violence. That's how they gonna go out, by violence. So they're gonna, let's say Loyal Shah, gonna bring the Edomite devils down by the thermonuclear missiles. Everything here gonna be burnt up. Everything you see here in America, Babylon the Great, gonna be burnt up. Other countries gonna get hit with missiles too, and I say, but not every country, and not the whole earth is not gonna be destroyed. But here, everything here in America, Babylon the Great that you see here, ain't gonna be nothing left. Gonna be completely just utterly burnt up. And I say it shall be found no more. As I say, ain't gonna be nothing left here, man. So you have these movies where you'll see like destruction of America, cities like that, whatever. But you still see like partially the city or this or that. You see the bridges and stuff still standing, half burnt up or half destroyed, whatever, buildings and bridges and this and that, cities, whatever. But nah, it ain't gonna be nothing left here. Everything that you can see in America, Babylon the Great, gonna be completely just destroyed. Loyal Yahweh Shah is gonna completely just wipe everything that you see here. It's gonna be no more, man. So with that, I didn't want to make this too long. Hope this was edifying. So again, like if our praise, I'm gonna go to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Harakah Kadash, to the apostle elders, to the sister brothers, to the few Akwaf sisters that do listen, keep the faith, and Yahushua keep fighting with that. Say Shalom.